It was 2018, mid to late 2018. My memory's still hazy because I try to blur out a lot of things that happened in that time span. Positives, negatives, they all mixed together, and some things just naturally got left behind. Not this one though. I was playing Osu with one of my friends, doing the whole co-op thing to see who's better at mashing their keyboard and breaking their wrist. I usually let my friend choose the song, as I had just gotten to Osu and didn't know just how many songs were available. And he brought me to this random song called Happy Party Train by Aqours. What the hell is a Aqours, and what the hell is a happy party train? I thought to myself, with my friend saying that's love life. Love life, love life. I swear I've heard of that anime before. Was it an anime? I don't know. I definitely don't remember it being called Aqours though. Before I had time to really think about it though, we played through the song, and it was a banger. I mean, I died almost instantly because fuck the harder difficulties, but the song sounded really amazing, and a part of me wanted to know more. What was Love Life? A show full of girls called school idols. They danced around in snow. Okay, there you go. That's how I knew it was. Snow halation and all those song mixes, along full of stupid Nico Nico Ni memes I saw plastered all over in 2016. Muse. Aqua. Groups that were a part of a series called Love Life. My interest didn't go that far, at least until very late 2018, when a friend group I was a part of decided to do a watch-along of Love Life, including the friend I played Osu with. It was fun. We watched the first 3 episodes and we all started assigning characters to each other. I got assigned as Umi, by the way. But at the end of December, my friend would disappear, and the Love Life watch-along would end shortly after. He didn't say much, he didn't leave much, but there was something that stuck with him. Love Life. He'd always express his love for Love Life. He was the one who set up the watch along, I don't remember, and a part of me was always curious about what he saw. The only thing I really had to connect with him was Love Life, so after he was gone, I decided to take the leap into what would now be known as Idol Hell. With me completing my journey with school idol projects since I continued it alone, I experienced the highs and lows of high school idols as they saved their school, time traveled, and created a worldwide phenomenon in lore at least. And while I liked Muse like many others, I wasn't really watching it for them. It still lingered in my mind. That song, Happy Party Train by Aqua. I still had no idea what Aqua was. I couldn't ask my friend about it anymore because he was gone. In fact, the last thing I remembered was Kanan being his favorite, which doesn't really matter in the grand scheme, but you know, it's interesting to point out. Aqua has a very special place in my heart for what it meant to be back then and the time period that I was in. Not to be overly sentimental, but watching Sunshine gave Aqua a lot more importance to me than Muse. For the time I watched it, it was the last piece of info I could use to help connect to my friend that was no longer around. Every episode, every scene, I tried remembering what he told me about it, how his favorite character was this one, and the reasons that was the case. The series was viewed in a different angle that I don't expect many others to relate because it is a very unique one, I'll admit. Everyone has a reason for Aqua being their favorite. For some people, it saved their lives. For some people, it gave them meaning. A lot of things happen at the right place at the right time, and I'm no different. I wasn't aware of the history of Love Life. I wasn't aware of Squadle Festival. I wasn't aware of Muse's disbandment and the shit it caused when Aqua got announced. That wasn't on my mind until way later on. The only thing I focused on was the anime and story it told, and it just so happened that the story was really good. Love Life Sunshine as a story introducing Aqua was always one that struck a nice vibe with me. Not to downplay what School Idol Project did, but Sunshine felt more small scale in the bigger picture. The setting, the fact it takes place in a world where school idols are oversaturated, it made Aqua feel smaller, which some people may interpret as a bad thing, but it had a lot of other positives that I really clicked with. At the time, I was in 8th grade, and there's a lot of shit I could say that would be put in the Draw My Life video, but let's just say that I had a really great appreciation for down-to-earth characters and relationships. The entire theme and inspiration for Aqua stemming from growing from something else has always stuck with me. We take inspiration from things our whole life. We see a cool artist, we want to be like them. We see an amazing chef or an amazing dancer, and oftentimes we're inspired to be like them. There's nothing wrong with that, but Aqua expressing that you shouldn't try to be exactly like them has always been an important message. When you're lost, when you're not proud of who you are, sometimes you think it'd be better if you were someone else, so you try imitating what you see. Aqua starts out that way. Chica wants to be Muse. She wants to be a school idol, but just like Muse. When her school is about to shut down, she becomes so happy because her exact situation is like Muse. And the story rightfully points out how both stupid and dangerous it is to follow something in their exact footsteps. Aqua is not Muse, and the story makes that a huge point. They don't go the exact same path. They don't get to save their school like how Muse did. The story and events they go through aren't the same as Muse, and it was never supposed to. Having that message be present the entire show, no matter how negative it may be, was very important to me back then. One, because it told me to cherish the things you have, of course, but also two, it encouraged me to create my own path. There may be similarities you have with people, things you relate to them with, or you see yourself in them. That's present in Aqua, with many of the episodes following very similar formulas to Muse. That's on purpose. We have similar archetypes, so you think it's gonna be the same, but it's pulled under the rug in a very natural way. I relate to Chica's passion and pursuit for her dreams, even when she has to accept that some of them can't be true. Does it mean I'm Chica one for one? No, of course not. But having her as an inspiration can help me go down a different path, one that uses her sense of passion to commit to anything. It's pretty surface level thinking about it now, but I was like 13, so like any inspirational messages said to me I probably keep in my heart, and it just so happened that Aqours happened to be the one. That's not to downplay Aqours' message, of course. Anything can hit for the right person at the right time, no matter how old or young you are. I mean, what may not mean anything to you can mean the world to someone else. An adult can go through a traumatic experience and have it be helped by them randomly watching a YouTube video essay that helped them get through it, you know, shit like that. But anyway, back to my story. The impact Aqours had on me was influential. Influential to the point it's where I actually got into Love Life, like the actual multimedia series. The only thing I did after Muse was play the songs in Osu. That was the max I was doing. But with Aqours, there was this bigger sense of connection that wanted me to experience everything they had to offer. Because of Aqours, I learned what a seiyuu was, what a subunit was, what a song was, if that makes sense. I didn't know they made songs outside the anime, which looking back was kind of a weird thing. I literally watched all of Sunshine and not a single trace of Happy Party Train was shown. I thought we were gonna get it in season 2, but then I learned it had its own separate music video outside the anime, even though it was animated like the anime. First multimedia series I was in, guys, come on. Love Life back then wasn't on streaming services, so the only way you were listening to the songs were via YouTube or Osu. And not gonna lie, I miss when Love Life songs were on YouTube. I'm glad they're on streaming services for accessibility, but man, I miss the YouTube comments. You always have people talking about their own stories with these songs, and with Aqours as my first group, it was a way for me to connect with many other fans with the feelings they had towards certain characters. I didn't really join any Love Life communities until late 2019 into the 2020s. I was mainly a spectator, but that doesn't mean I was in the dark. I don't know if anyone remembers Eat Pie Say Eat Pie back in like 2019. Researching all of this makes me feel really old. In fact, gathering old footage for this video was a pain in the ass. So many seiyuu streams, so many music videos, so many clips have been taken down because it legally copyrights, but come on man. There's barely any archivals of this stuff, so now I have to browse other sites to get the footage I need. It actually is so tragic. It's like going back through old recordings to relive your past memories and all of it is corrupted or destroyed. Shit sucks. Aqours got me into a lot. I mentioned earlier that it got me into learning what seiyus were, but it actually got me into one seiyuu in specific. Shuka Saito. For those that are unaware, she's the actor for Yo Watanabe, and she was always one of my favorite characters solely because of her Focus episode. My love for her was so strong that when it was announced she was gonna do her own solo music career, I actually bought her first mini album shoebox collector thingy. I still don't know what this is, but it's super cool. It has an album and music video CD and shoelace, I don't know, it's always been memorable to me. I still have my old 2019 recording when I first got it because I was so excited to open it up. Aqours gave me that experience. It also got me into using Spotify, I'm not joking. When Love Life songs started getting added to streaming services, I tried adding songs only to realize that I need premium to actually listen to them, which even today is fucking stupid. So I relied on local files instead. It's a direct fuck you to Spotify in my Aqours video, that's how much I hate it. It was cool having it on the go, and my phone storage was like 16 gigabytes back then, so was it really worth to download the songs? Let's be honest with ourselves. That transition period was horrible, by the way. I don't know how it was for other people, but they started actually double downing on all the music videos. They were getting killed left and right, even the songs that weren't on streaming services yet. It took a few years for everything to actually get online, and even now there are still some songs that aren't on streaming services. Love Life is not a perfect company, and that's okay. That applies back then, even now. I remember watching the live performances of Aqours and being amazed that the outfits they had in the anime were actually in real life. I was like, Love Life for real? I watched these live performances on loop so many times that I really wanted to see the full performances. Now, before I state anything further, I want to make an apology. I want to apologize to Team Onibe. I will not be elaborating on this. It was 2019. I was 14 years old. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I watched the first and second Aqours live sub. That's all you're getting. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I was so stupid back then. I'm sorry. It was totally worth it to see the Happy Party Train live performance though. There is one specific memory I always associate with Aqours, and it's one of their songs, I Try, which was a pain to search up back then because what the hell is that name? Back when the preview for it was released in June, it was quite literally my favorite Aqours song. I looped the preview so many times, I had it looping when I was casually playing Terraria for hours. That experience has always stuck with me because for starters, it's a really great song that had such a tragic vibe to it, but also I defeated Plantera and Golem in the same session and I had the song on loop, so it's like the one thing I think of when thinking of Terraria bosses. I think the biggest influential thing Aqours gave to me was editing. Now for those that have watched my previous videos, I may mention once before, but Love Life is the reason I got into editing, more specifically motion graphics and animation. Back then I used to follow this Love Life cover group called 9 Mermaids, and they often covered Aqours songs with their own music videos. And during this time, I was really wanting to get into that whole music video production thing. Think of like VTuber music videos in present day, that's the best comparison I have. 9 Mermaids music videos served as one of the biggest inspirations for me when I started editing. In fact, many of my oldest edits are literally recreations of of some of the scenes because it was that important to me. Every aspect of my editing is in part thanks to Love Life and Aqours and the impact it had on me, both by the group itself and the community it fostered. You won't be able to find this because I made sure of it, but there are some old recordings where I attempted to join Love Life cover groups because I love Love Life that much. Looking back, it's actually kind of crazy how much Aqours influenced me to experiment with so many things. Of course, it could have just been my natural instinct, but the fact all of it was connected to Aqours in some shape or form shows that it did have some sort of impact on me. In the 2020s, I would closely follow Aqours as I actually somewhat started participating in the community. There were some old ass posts I made regarding some voting I forgot existed, but it was cool actually being on social media and following what was going on. Being there around the time the solo music videos were coming out was such a huge blessing for me, both in terms of listening and also inspiration for my editing. There's some aspects of life you can't ever really recreate, but I always cherish that period when I both started being really online and following all the news I could on Love Life. This was the time I slowly shifted away from Aqours though. Not saying Aqours was bad, but it's just that Nijigasaki was better. I still tried keeping up with certain songs releasing, but over time naturally stuff happened in my life and Nijigasaki just so happened to be the one to step up. You can tell if you look at all my edits, with most of them being Nijigasaki. I honestly can't tell you why. Aqours was still producing songs, but maybe I was just a bit tired and Nijigasaki just so happened to be the fresh start. Who knows? My memory still gets hazy from time to time. It got better though once I got into conventions and realized other Love Life fans existed, and got hit with the reality beam that most people are into Muse and Aqours, which did help me get back into them in the upcoming years. Despite that though, I don't think I made an Aqours edit, which is usually my criteria for if I'm into something or not. I made a lot for Nijigasaki, I made some for Liela, I even made one for Hasunosora, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Aqours. In 2024, after a bit of a hiatus, I really got back into Aqours with the Sunshine video I released back in May of that year, and I really recollected my thoughts and why I was into Aqours and Love Life as a whole. Very poetic that the same year I do so, Aqours gets announced that it's gonna die next year, so go figure. I've had a lot of time to think about this in the back of my head. You know, what Aqours means to me, and I came to a sort of realization for myself. I'm not the biggest Aqours fan compared to others, or even other Love Life fans. Obviously, I didn't really participate in events or fan events. I don't really set up merch of what I have. I never really expressed my love for stuff. It was only this year that I decided the best way to express myself was via YouTube videos. I'm not like those that can scream out love, which has admittedly made me question how big of a fan I was, you know, how much of an impact it hit me compared to others. Sometimes I wish I could be them. I never went to Numazu. I never went to one of their concerts. And after this weekend, I'll probably never get that chance to directly get to thank them in person. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter. There is no competition for who's the biggest fan. The people and things that mean the most to us mean the most to us, and nothing should take that away from you. To me, Aqours made up so much for me that I don't think I'll fully be able to encapsulate it even after everything I've said. From the past to the present to the future, there'll always be traces of them in even the littlest of actions I do. So all I can say is, thank you Aqours, for everything. Oh, by the way, if you're curious about that friend that disappeared, if you're wondering he's dead or not, no, we literally went to SoccerCon together. No, he disappeared. He disappeared for a few months. I may have slightly exaggerated it. We were planning to go to Aqours Live together, but we kind of failed that RNG game, so very unfortunate. But you know, yeah, no, he's alive. Just letting you know. There's a good ending, sort of.